Harley CEO just dropped a massive bombshell. There's a brand new engine in the works that's about to obliterate every electric bike in sight. And guess who's quietly backing the chaos? Porsche. Yeah, that Porsche. This isn't chrome and nostalgia anymore. Harley's going global, and they're bringing the big guns. In 2026, they're allegedly dropping a brand new liquid-cooled V-twin engine so aggressive, it's basically Harley flipping the bird to every electric bike on the planet. And no, this isn't another quiet PR puff piece. This is a torque-loaded, oil-scorching, chrome-dripping monster of a motor that's supposedly going to redefine the entire cruiser game. Now, before you say, "Oh, so it's just another tweak to the Revolution Max," let me stop you right there. Nope, not even close. This isn't some reheated version of the engine we've already seen. According to multiple leaks from inside the company, this thing is a ground-up rebuild. It's not borrowing DNA, it's creating a whole new species. And if the rumors are true, it's pushing over 130 lb of torque. Yeah, 130. That's not just impressive. That's downright unholy. You have to understand, Harley has been clinging to their air-cooled traditions like a baby to a blanket for decades. They've treated water cooling like it was some sort of blasphemy. But now, that blanket's been thrown into the fire and they're going all in. Full-throttle rebellion mode. I mean, the CEO himself basically said it best. Our next innovation won't whisper, it'll roar past electric pretenders. That's not a mission statement, that's a threat. So yeah, while electric bikes are out here trying to be silent and eco-friendly, Harley's next move sounds like it's going to be louder than a jet engine in a tunnel. Subtlety? Never heard of her. And honestly, thank God for that. Let's move on to the second point, because if the engine alone wasn't enough to make you raise an eyebrow, wait till you hear who they're gunning for. BMW's R18? Dead meat. Indian's Power Plus? Good luck. Harley is reportedly aiming to blow past both of them in torque and overall performance. For context, the R18 hits around 116 FTLBs. Indian's Power Plus is around 128 FTLBs. And Harley? They're coming in hot at 130 plus FTLBs, and they're not apologizing to anyone. Insiders are calling it Harley's first cruiser engine to break that barrier while still being durable for long-haul highway riding. That's the key. It's not just about flexing on dyno charts. They're building something that can dominate both the boulevard and the back roads. And get this, the engine is supposedly codenamed VX26 internally. Sounds like a missile, doesn't it? Not Touring Glide 2000 or some soft name. No, VX26. That's straight-up military energy. One Harley exec reportedly told stakeholders, "Electric bikes might be trendy, but torque wins hearts, and this engine wins battles." Sir, thank you. Finally, someone said it. Because for the past few years, all we've heard is range anxiety, this, and charging infrastructure, that. Meanwhile, Harley is out here trying to punch the pavement into submission. And let's not ignore the subtext here. This engine is a direct response to people who said Harley lost its edge after 2020. That whole, "they're just selling nostalgia now" narrative? Consider it officially shredded. Now let's talk about the shadow project that's been quietly rolling through the desert while everyone else was asleep at the wheel. Project King Tourer. That's right. In early 2024, Harley test riders were caught in Arizona, riding what looked like a fully camouflaged prototype. And by caught, I mean spotted by actual industry spies. Like, this isn't even conspiracy theory material, there are literal pictures. The name floating around is King Tourer, and let's be real, that already sounds like a heavyweight champ. This isn't some budget side project. This is a top-tier flagship being prepped to haul your gear, your ego, and your entire garage if needed. Built for long-distance dominance but powered like a drag bike on Red Bull. And if you're wondering how this engine fits, well, it doesn't. Not without a whole new chassis, that is. Apparently, the frame and the exhaust routing had to be completely reworked just to handle the heat and mass of this motor. The muffler placement, the geometry, the mounting brackets, all of it has been redesigned from the ground up. And for a company as stubborn as Harley, that's huge. Now here's where it gets wild. Field testers have allegedly clocked this prototype outpacing BMW's K1600 and Indian's Challenger in raw acceleration. Yes, touring bikes. That's not supposed to happen. The King Tourer is rumored to be a cruiser, not a hyper-tourer. But apparently it said nah, and started smoking the competition anyway. As for official confirmation, don't hold your breath. The project is so under wraps that even Harley dealers don't know what's coming. Test riders are under NDAs, engineers are on lockdown, and the company hasn't leaked so much as a badge or bolt. Which, let's be honest, only makes it way more interesting. What we do know is that a massive launch event is expected mid-2026, and if this beast rolls out with the numbers they're whispering, it's going to be total chaos in the industry. Like, people tripping over themselves to get one type of chaos. Alright, so we've already talked about the torque beast itself and the secret love child codenamed King Tourer. But here's where it gets hilarious. Harley somehow managed to cram a NASA control room into a bike that still looks like it came out of a 1997 calendar shoot. I mean, seriously, on the outside, this thing is all throwback fat boy, but inside, we're talking variable valve timing, ride-by-wire throttle, and electronic dampening controls. Yes, dampening controls. On a Harley. For anyone who's been riding Harleys that vibrate like a washing machine in spin cycle, yeah, this ain't that. This thing is engineered like it's ready to apply for citizenship in Germany. According to the leaks, the bike is running a dual overhead camshaft system, with cooling ports built directly into the frame. That's right, the frame itself is now part of the cooling system. No more oil-splattered nostalgia trying to survive summer traffic. This is clean, slick, and dare I say it, smart? And it doesn't stop there. We're talking smart power modes, people. Rain mode, highway mode, sport mode. Harley has officially entered the video game era. 1 minute you're cruising like a grandpa with a hip replacement, and with one button press, you're back to 25 with road rage and a death wish. That's the magic. Smash that subscribe button if you want more updates before Harley makes this beast official. We're just getting started. Back to the video, one engineer allegedly admitted, "This time we gotta build the engine first and style came later." What? That's like Harley's version of a revolution. Usually it's all about looking loud, sounding angry, and figuring out the rest later. But not this time. This time they built the monster first, and then worried about how to make it look pretty. Bless them. The goal is crystal clear. Look like Milwaukee. Ride like Munich. They want this bike to look like it belongs in a Harley museum, but behave like a BMW S1000 XR that just drank 6 Red Bulls and watched Mad Max. That's the vibe. They're not just aiming to modernize, they're trying to erase the line between classic cruiser and sci-fi tech. Now let's peel back the corporate curtain a bit, because none of this magic came easy. Apparently, this whole engine project was stuck in boardroom hell for nearly 5 years. Why? Because Harley's senior execs, the old school if it ain't chrome it ain't home crowd, were straight up terrified of change. They thought a high-tech Harley would make their loyal customers cry. They were afraid the bike would ride too smooth, rev too clean, and worst of all, actually work. It took a complete R&D leadership shakeup in 2023 to finally get this thing out of the idea graveyard. New management basically walked in, threw the style rulebook in the trash, and said, "You know what? Build the damn engine." And just like that, the engineers were unleashed. No more being told to make it louder, shinier, and worse. They had one job: performance first, everything else second. One insider said the design team wasn't even given styling restrictions for the first time in decades. That's right. No fake cooling fins, no unnecessary chrome, no heritage nonsense. Just raw engineering. It was so drastic it probably made some execs sweat motor oil. This whole shift wasn't just about being different for the sake of it, it was survival. Harley's US sales were tanking, and at the same time demand overseas was climbing, but only if Harley could deliver cleaner, leaner, and faster bikes. So the company basically had to pick a side, cling to nostalgia or embrace torque and tech. And the CEO? Oh, he didn't mince words either. "We can't win the future on nostalgia, we need torque, tech, and tenacity." Is it dramatic? Absolutely. But also, fair. Now here comes the juiciest part of this whole drama, the patent leaks. Because nothing screams we're up to something big like technical drawings from 2023 and 2024 that weren't supposed to see the light of day. These documents showed a brand new engine mounting system and frame-integrated cooling, basically confirming that the entire chassis was being reworked from the ground up. But wait, it gets better. There are whispers, and I'm talking real whispers. The kind that say Porsche or Rotax might be involved behind the scenes. Yeah, the same Porsche that helped Harley with the V-Rod back in the day. Imagine that partnership coming back from the dead like a zombie with better fuel efficiency. And guess what? This engine isn't just a Made in America badge of honor, it's Euro 6 compliant, which means Harley is clearly aiming to dominate overseas, especially in countries where emissions laws are stricter than your high school principal. Places like Germany, France, and India, where Harley never really had the edge before, are now square in the company's sights. People who worked on the old V-Rod project are apparently calling this new engine its spiritual successor. And if that's true, it means Harley's finally learned how to blend power with purpose. Not just revs and rebellion, but real performance, with the specs to back it up. The industry's watching. The competitors are sweating. Harley fans are foaming at the mouth. And if the mid-2026 launch lives up to even half the hype that's leaking out of these R&D bunkers, then yeah, The combustion war might not be over just yet. Harley's not playing fair anymore. And if you want front row seats to the chaos, hit subscribe button and share your thoughts in the comments.